that one was like me personally, in chapter when you were in this stadium, you need to make that early tomorrow night.
Look, very exciting. Every opportunity you get to play for Ireland is huge, but this one seems particularly special, not just for me because I'm under my circumstances, but for the group and lots of guys in the group. Big games, big opportunities for guys, big opportunity for every one of us. To continue our journey on, and what a place to do it. What a stadium! Just coming in there from the captain's run. I haven't been here in a long time, and unfortunately, not great memories. But what a place to play rugby. Yeah, look, I don't know about that. It's the first one up for us. First one up for them. It's in this competition, every game is colossal, and that's an understatement. And make of it what you want, but both of us are out there tomorrow to win the game and set us up for a bit of momentum for the rest of the campaign. As I said, a huge occasion for both of us.
Please wait for the mic.
What kind of energy has Joe McCarthy brought to the team, and what's it like having him in there?
Yeah, look, he's obviously what the performances you've seen is the energy that he's bringing. Big, athletic. What a man to do extras to learn. He's been in a bit now, and you can see every camp he goes away, he's picking stuff up and he's learning and he's putting it in his game. And a young man, eager to learn and perform and play well and impress, and that's exactly what he's done. Destructive would be a word I'd use for him, but loves the game, is a great man to have around, great crack, and has really added to our squad in more ways than just rugby.
And has your former teammate and friend Johnny Sexton been in touch, taking on the new role now?
Yeah, look, I've obviously been very close to him for a long time, and not for rugby reasons, but we'd be in touch for many other reasons. I had a good chat with him a few weeks ago, and he's in good form, I can report.
Hi Peter, you've obviously captained teams throughout your career, but just in terms of taking on the Ireland captaincy, is there anything in particular you would have picked up or learned from Johnny over the last couple of years?
Of course. I'd be shocked if you asked anybody in that dressing room who's played with Johnny if they hadn't picked up something from him, and as I've done from all the leaders I've come across in my career, that's kind of what the game is about, is learning and being diligent to pick stuff up off guys who have figured it out, and he certainly was one of them. And look, I'm lucky enough to say that I've come across lots of those guys who would, at the time of their careers, figured it out, and would be a huge miss of me or anyone else who play with them to not have picked up a huge amount from them.
Yep. Hi Peter, Aisling here from Off the Ball. Do you embrace the challenge of being the captain? Obviously it's a big occasion for the team, so many players making their debut as well. Do you embrace all of that? Do you talk about it, or do you focus on getting out there on the pitch and playing?
No, I think that's kind of the old school thinking. You've got to talk about it and address these things, and important milestones or occasions to talk about, and I think doing that, probably takes the edge off a bit of the anxiety and the pressure that is Test match rugby. And certainly we've spoken about all those things, and I think particularly for guys, I was going to say the younger guys, but it's difficult for all age groups, or it doesn't matter what position of your career you're in. This is a stressful environment, and I think the more we talk about scenarios, things happening, occasions, milestones, be it whatever, I think it makes life easier for everyone, and we've certainly done that.
Yeah, it's a massive time in your lives. It's important to enjoy it. Will your family and friends be here now for the occasion tomorrow night?
I'm sure there'll be plenty of support here tomorrow. I know it's certain numbers have been reported, but I'd imagine there'll be a lot more than that. You've seen the support that we had throughout the World Cup, and even going, we always have incredible away support, and I've no doubt it'll be no different tomorrow.
Peter, how important is to deliver a performance tomorrow night to move on with what happened in the World Cup quarter-final in your view?
Performance is paramount. For every test match, we're not trying to prove a point to ourselves about what happened. You know what I mean? We're trying to prove to ourselves a performance, prove to ourselves, where this team is at, where we want to go. As I said, setting up momentum. It's not about, putting things right or whatever. It's about the test match tomorrow night. You know what I mean? It's that's what the occasion is. That's the most important thing for us. And as you said, performance is absolute paramount. It's what everyone's here to do. Be the best version of themselves, and that's what we're going to try and do tomorrow night.
Last question, Stephen, then Ruth.
Hi, Peter. Do you feel under more pressure personally as captain now to deliver a result for Ireland?
I think the immature version of me would have said yes, but I've plenty of miles on the clock at the moment, and with that brings experience, and I have a great group of people around me and a great coaching staff and playing group that I think we all feel the pressure of delivering performance for Ireland. Every time you're picked, not only is it an honour, but it's it's a huge responsibility, and I think we all feel that. Doesn't matter whether you're a captain or whether you're a travelling reserve, you feel the responsibility to deliver in the jersey, and that goes for us all.
Hi, Peter. Just on the players that haven't made the squad now as captain, do you feel you need to put your arm around them? I'm thinking of the likes of Ian Henderson, who's been part of the leadership group for a long time, and he's now missed out on the squad. Do you have to maybe put your arm around them now as captain?
Look, it's funny you ask questions like that. People like that, you talk about Hendy, gets bad news during the week. He's the kind of guy who came to me during the week to see that I need anything. You know what I mean? It's different level that way. It's not about you in this group. You know what I mean? It's about the collective, and it's about delivering performance, as I said, for the jersey and the country. 100% you feel, and I've been in that position. You feel disappointed, but you've no right to feel sorry for yourself. You know what I mean? It's about something bigger than that, and we've people in this group who want to do well for the group regardless of what happens, and deliver the best of themselves. And as I said, 100% you're disappointed, but people like that are too big to leave it affect them or the group, and too big personalities.
Thank you. That's it for the live section. The rest is embargoed until tonight. So if we could ask Rory, Jerry, and then Simon, please. So Rory first, please. Thank you.
Hey, Peter. There's a great picture going around the internet of you giving 12-year-old Jack Crowley his medal. I think probably, I don't know, it was in Con or Abandon or somewhere, but can you just, I don't know if you remember that, but it was yourself and Zebo, but do you remember the first time you came across him, whether, I don't know, Abandon Grammar or Con, and the growth you've seen in him to be ready to kind of lead Ireland in the Six Nations game at 24?
Yeah, I don't remember back that far at the time, but I remember him playing for Con and getting reports that he was the real deal, and fast forward a few years and here we are. He's obviously grown and again learned a huge amount. What a way to start off your career, under Johnny. And others as well, under guys like Joey and Ross, like loads of guys I'm sure he's learned a huge amount from. And, again, an unbelievable man to learn the game, watch the game, himself and Craig. I don't know what they'd be doing, but they'd be in the HBC for hours on end, you know what I mean? Be recovering on laptops, doing extras in the gym. Like, they're just unbelievable professionals, and again, he had a bit to learn, and he's done that, and he's plenty to go as well. But he knows that better than anyone, and that's a good sign of a professional. And I'm delighted for him. And I'm sure he'll put in a huge performance for us tomorrow as well. It's a big occasion that we need big players, and he's certainly one of them.
Thanks, Jerry.
Hi, Peter. You've plenty of experience of captaining throughout your career, but I'm just wondering, is there much difference in captaining at international level, and if so, how?
It's different to club captaincy, because with the club you're week in, week out, and you've not just the pitch stuff to worry about, you've other stuff, and you're kind of constantly meeting up. Whereas when it comes to this group and meeting up internationally, you kind of hit windows of it. Obviously, Six Nations, Novembers, or whatever, and it's also the fact that you're living with each other. You know what I mean? So you can, we were on the flight yesterday, and you can have a little meeting on the flight, or that's more difficult when you're all heading off home or whatever afterwards in club, and so there's logistically it's different, and obviously stakes are higher. This is the highest level of rugby, you know what I mean, and that's no disrespect to provincial rugby or club rugby. This is the biggest of them all, the biggest stage, and stakes are higher, so with that responsibility, obviously it's a little bit different.
Thanks. Rory and then Simon.
Peter, Andy's talked about not leaving it down to the small moments. That one of the big things he took out of the quarter-final was that you have to take your chances and not leave it down to that last 10 minutes. Kind of practically, what measures or what kind of chats have you had in the week to try and make sure you're taking every chance, that you're ready to take every moment and win every moment when it comes to these tests against the best teams?
Yeah, look, the thing is, when you play teams like this, those moments don't come up a huge amount is the problem. You're coming up against, excellent defences that, incredibly well coached, and, we have to be able to see those moments when they come and take them every time, because, you might get 2 or 3 of them in a match, you know what I mean? When someone's a little bit fatigued or someone drops off for whatever reason, and we have to have the ability to capitalise on them if we want to, be as successful as we're talking about. So, we're, again, you review training. You know what I mean. You've bits. We train against an incredible defence every week. You know what I mean, with our defence. So you try and pick holes in that, and then afterwards see where you can get better and improve, along with reviewing games.
Thanks, Simon.
Yeah, hi Peter. I'm just wondering, you were made Munster captain as a young man. How much have you changed in the way you captain teams over that period of time?
Geez, we could sit here for a couple of hours to talk about the different men that sat. When I was 22 or whatever I was, been named captain of Munster to today. Different animal altogether. For lots of reasons, the game moves on. I think leadership moves on. People move on. People's circumstances change. Different experiences. That all adds to what you are here and now, and it's changed me a huge amount as a person and as a leader. I'd often look back and think, what were you thinking, like? But rugby was a different game back then to what it is now, like different sport. So, different animal.
Last 2 questions, Michael, and then over here.
Hey, Peter. 3 of the lads are starting the Six Nations game for the first time. What advice would you have for them?
My advice would be to go and play tomorrow. Play tomorrow. The reason you were picked for the squad, go and play to the best of your ability, go to play to the best of your strengths, and enjoy the game. You know what I mean? Do your very best to enjoy the occasion, because it'll pass you by like that. And, it's hard to get back. You know what I mean? First Six Nations games, first caps. I know we don't have one of them tomorrow, but, you know what I mean? It's easy to let it pass you by. But, like, everyone in there is picked for, a different little reason, you know what I mean? Bring that little bit of specialness that you've been picked for and drive it on.
Final question.
Peter, apologies if you've already talked about this, but we were late from the airport. Just as we walked in, you were saying it's not about putting things right. I just wonder if I could ask, when was the last time you talked about the World Cup with your group or any of the players?
When you come across someone for a coffee over the last 6 or 8 months, it probably came up at some point, but obviously we addressed it as a squad when we got back together. Did some reviewing of different moments of the game, but I think at this point now, that has to be a long way behind us, and we have to be looking forward, and forward is Friday, is tomorrow night. But like I've said this before, we're the last group of people who shy away from addressing our performance and that kind of thing, and more importantly, learning from it. So something that we'll always do.
Thanks, Peter. Thank you very much, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.